I've been playing Monster Hunter for quite some time, since the original Monster Hunter on PS2 right here. It's been a fun time. Now, I am a notorious Monster Hunter hater because I didn't like the combat of a lot of the Monster Hunter games. The earlier Monster Hunter games felt very heavy, slow, and sluggish, and that made me agitated. What I didn't enjoy as well was the grind to get to the fun part. To get to an actual creature in the first Monster Hunter, it was about 3 hours of real investment to get to the first bird creature. You learn the mechanics, learn how to get raw meat and put it on a barbecue spit, you learn how to fish, you learn how to gather materials where they're at, and they just give you subtle hints where it might be, and you have to really understand the lay of the land. Really a hunter game. You were a hunter hunting monsters. That's what the first Monster Hunter game was. Then, I played Monster Hunter Dose. Why did I play Monster Hunter Dose when I was about 10 years old? My dad really liked Monster Hunter. He got a Japanese PS2, got Monster Hunter Dose, and we could not connect online, and it was horrifying. Nowadays, you can use fun systems to play online, legally obviously. It's very fun. So that's what we did. So Monster Hunter Dose, that was really fun. After Monster Hunter Dose, I ended up getting a PSP, playing Monster Hunter Freedom. I didn't enjoy that. My dad played it, and I played with him. I didn't enjoy Monster Hunter Freedom at all, but I did understand the loop. I understood the specific stylistic choices. It felt less heavy, less weighty. Then I played Monster Hunter Freedom 2. Monster Hunter Freedom 2 was where I began to actually have a small, decent enjoyment of what Monster Hunter was. And I beat all of the original Monster Hunter, by the way. I beat all the original one. I beat the original one immediately. I got all the way to the end of the village quest, and I played online. I fought Fatty. I beat the Fatty on Monster Hunter 1 with a lance, and I got the Fatty lance, and I got the armor, and I still have the original PS2 8 megabyte PS2 memory card with that save file on it. Very happy about that. I still have that. It's one of my accolades. I powered through that for my family. So, after all that, this is very important, play Monster Hunter Freedom 2. Monster Hunter Freedom 2 had a deep amount of stylistic choices that I really liked. Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, this may have been one of my favorites. It was very goofy, very cartoony. The way it operated was strange. The style of it was so odd. It felt as if I was playing an anime. And it made me, for the first time, feel like it wasn't a hunter hunting monsters, but I was a monster of a hunter, toe-to-toe with the creatures. I had enough resources, I had enough skills, I had gun lances, I had long swords, I had very specific things. And Portable Third came out, my dad went through hell and high water so I could play that game. And that's when I began to feel as though Monster Hunter was getting into shape. Monster Hunter Portable Third was an anime game. That's what it was. It felt stylistically anime. I like the nonsense of it. Try, that's when it became the middle ground of what it was. And 3 Ultimate was the perfect blend of Try and Portable Third. Now, why is this important? Monster Hunter 4 comes out, and we are now able to have better movement controls and mount creatures and do all this extra stuff. And the game feels very, very fun, fluid even. And 4 Ultimate comes out, then Generations, and Generations Ultimate. When Generations Ultimate are Monster Hunter Double Cross, Monster Hunter Cross is the original name, where it's crossing all the generations and styles are being implemented, Adept style, Aerial style. I was saying to myself, whoa, this is the greatest thing of all time. And to this day, Generations Ultimate is held as one of my favorites, truly. But Monster Hunter was getting very little success. In Japan, it was big because the commune in Japan, they have very walkable cities. You can link up and play Monster Hunter with other people, hence why it was on so many handheld systems. It had not had a full true console release for quite some time. Since Monster Hunter Try, it was always on some other thing. You could say it was on the Wii U and things like that, but a big console like a PlayStation or an Xbox didn't happen, not happening. And then the world was introduced to Monster Hunter World. This was not Monster Hunter. This was a whole different beast. Monster Hunter World, and this is gonna sound crazy, is my least favorite Monster Hunter. I love Iceborne. I really do. Iceborne's amazing. I could play it all day. But in terms of Monster Hunter and the original vision of what Monster Hunter was, I feel like it got far too modernized. They started doing title updates and realizing they could add creatures later and work on the game later. And that gives us the possibility of infinite creatures. If you compare base Monster Hunter World to where it is now, it's outstanding. They realized they could charge for a game twice what they've been doing. They did the Pokemon method. They released the original game and then the same game but with the G rank added, the master rank, whatever it is. G rank, master rank, they just added it. And this was the beginning of modernization of hyper-realistic Monster Hunter. I was upset because I knew the path it was going down and I could feel it. Monster Hunter was always, to me, a game that was goofy and silly. And for some reason, Monster Hunter World didn't feel as goofy as the other ones. Something strange about the goofiness was missing. It didn't have that Capcom charm, that je ne sais quoi. It felt modern, and I almost hated it. But then Monster Hunter Rise came out, and it showed me that they could still make the goofy. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak fixed every issue I had with the original Rise, and that to me was an amazing game. It felt different. It felt like Frontier with a whole new shiny coat on it. It felt like a fixed version of Monster Hunter Frontier. They even had a Frontier creature in it. I was very happy about that. I said to myself, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is godlike. Now, people hated Rise Sunbreak because they were so used to World, because World put it on the world stage. World put it on the map. There was a bigger sample size. Original Monster Hunter fans that played the original Monster Hunters on PSP are more often than not more fans of Rise Sunbreak. They said, why is it only on Nintendo Switch? Well, that's how Monster Hunter has always been. Nope. That sucks. You can put it on every other console, so they put it on Steam. They put it on PS5. They put it on everything else. They put it on all these other systems. They did. They really did. And now, I have Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak on Steam, and I love it. I'm happy I'm playing it. It feels fun to play. I'm having a great time with it. But there's a disconnect, because I just beat Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds is a game that I don't know how to feel about, because it's a base game. Base games are always easy. Base Monster Hunter Freedom 2 was easy, and then Freedom Unite was harder when they added the bigger ranks. The base games are always the harder ones. Sorry, always the easier ones. And when you get to the end game, which will be useless when the new game comes out, it gets nothing. All I can do in Monster Hunter Wilds right now is fight the last 3 creatures. I can fight Gore Magala, Arkveld, and Jin Moran. Those are the creatures I can fight. That's it. That's what I got. That's what I got going for me. It doesn't feel good to fight those creatures at all. There's no variety. And in other games, there was a heavy variety, especially with Monster Hunter World. You could fight Fatty, the Behemoth. You could fight the Safi Jiva. You could fight Kuve Teroff, but that came later with updates. And I'm pretty sure Monster Hunter Wilds will have a variety of so many updates. It sold so well, and I'm sure so many people are going to continue to buy it, and it's going to be amazing. And then they're going to make the bigger version of it. It's going to be great. But the modern Monster Hunter is horrifying. I feel as though Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is the last Monster Hunter game. You may not know what I mean by that. Monster Hunter Wilds feels like you are a deep monster fighting. You're a monster hunting monsters is what you are. You have a lot of skills and techniques and a lot of divots, and the hammer feels horrible. I'm not gonna lie, the hammer sucks. I don't know what it is. I feel the hammer's missing something. I don't know what it is. Rise Sunbreak felt like that quirky little Monster Hunter game that I saw on those YouTube videos back in the day. And maybe I'm nostalgic for it. And Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak I still play, and I go back to it all the time because that's my nostalgia. That's what I feel as though is my true calling in the real world. That's what I feel like it is. And it feels great. In the beginning it's easy and later it gets hard. That's Monster Hunter to a T. But there's some disconnect inside of my brain that makes me feel like I'm missing something deep inside of my bosom when I play these games. Deep inside of my chest, I'm missing something with Wilds. Maybe it's the aspect of no cartooniness. Maybe it's too realistic and it looks too real. Maybe there's no nonsense. There's no Japanese aesthetic to it. I remember when I played Ghost of Tsushima. I loved it. I loved the entirety of it. But there was another samurai game that I loved a bit more, and that's called Way of the Samurai. That game was goofy. The goofiness of Monster Hunter is what I like. The goofy aspects to the entirety of the game. The goofiness of what really made the game stand out is what I enjoyed about Monster Hunter. That's when I began to enjoy it, when the game was goofy, when it tore down the nonsense and put more nonsense within it. That's why Frontier is so fun for me, because that game is super goofy and incredibly difficult, and I love every second of it. It's nuts, it's psychotic, and it feels great. I love it. That game is anime to a fault. Creatures don't even make any sense in that game. It's just goofy, goofy, goofy. But this Monster Hunter New Direction doesn't feel like Monster Hunter to me. It feels like a game that's trying to appease to a wider audience. And I'm still going to play it. I'm not telling you to not play it. I'm telling you that as an old head Monster Hunter fan, this doesn't feel like our old Monster Hunter. And this is a very boomer take. Very boomer Monster Hunter take. I know that the way Monster Hunter is now is going to get a lot more people playing it. People wouldn't play my niche little Monster Hunter game, and I'm so upset about it. A little bit. A little bit. Same way I feel about Beautiful Joe. Same way I feel about God Hand. Same way I feel about Okami. Same way I feel about Resident Evil Revelations 2 Raid Mode specifically. Same way I feel about Exoprimal. Same way I feel about Urban Reign. Same way I feel about those games. Same way I feel about the Onimusha. And I'm so happy that Onimusha is getting a remake. I'm so happy about that. A continuation of the story that made my soul jump. That is my favorite game. I am the greatest demon in the soul, I'm greatest swordsman in the demon world. Gogen Dantes. I love it. I love it. I really do. I like when Capcom is having fun. That's when we get the best games out of them. That's how we get the games where they're taking their time. That's how we got Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening. That's when we get games, the cheesiness, the nonsense, the garbage. It's how we get games like No More Heroes, despite the fact that No More Heroes is not Capcom. The game has fun. It's how we got Let It Die, which is also not a Capcom game. That's Suda51. Suda51. We get games that are having fun. And I need that. I need games where we're having fun. Capcom has always been a good studio where I've enjoyed, where they had fun and enjoyed every aspect of it. But now it's getting modernized and it scares me. I know they got to make money up financially. Dragon's Dogma 2 did well. Monster Hunter Wilds so well. But we need to, put our foot down and actually say, hey, we gotta actually, do what we gotta do, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do what we gotta do. You feel me? We gotta make some money. I get it. I know what they mean. But man, is it discouraging to lose what we once had. If Capcom could remaster the original Monster Hunter, but in Rise style or something like that, or maybe just re-release the games in a remastered version for Steam, that'd be great. If you could do a Monster Hunter collection, Capcom, I'd be over the moon. I'll play Freedom Unite right now. I'll play Freedom Unite on Steam right now. I just want to complain. That's all I wanted. That's all I got. Bye.